Hello, friends. Welcome to Crime Diaries. In India, in the state of Kerala, there is a government hospital in Kollam district called Kollam District Hospital. It operates 24 hours a day and is always busy. On one side, you see children being rushed in for emergencies. At 1 or 2 in the morning, you might see patients arriving with cardiac arrest or severe chest pain. On the other side, there are people who have been seriously injured in accidents, fighting for their lives. Because emergencies happen around the clock, the hospital has a dedicated emergency department that treats patients in critical condition. On March 21, 2019, an ambulance arrived at this busy government hospital. An auto rickshaw driver got out and said, "Sir, I went to a nearby house. A woman suddenly collapsed. She's in terrible condition. Please, somehow save her." He kept pleading with the medical staff to save her. Immediately, the woman was taken out of the ambulance and rushed into the emergency room. The doctor was shocked. "Who is this woman? What's her name?" "This woman's name is Thushara," they told her. "How old is she?" "She's 28 years old." The doctor couldn't believe it. 28? She looks much older. The woman's hair was tied back, and she was extremely thin, almost nothing but skin and bones. The auto driver explained, "Sir, she's been sick for a long time. She needs emergency treatment." The doctors immediately examined her. They checked her pulse. There was no pulse. The doctors began CPR immediately, but there was no response. It was clear that the woman had already died before she even reached the hospital. Death is something doctors unfortunately encounter often. They see patients die from terminal illnesses, serious accidents, cancer, and sometimes even injuries caused by violence. But this particular death raised many questions. How could a 28-year-old woman become so severely emaciated? We've all heard the expression skin and bones, right? Looking at Thushara's body, you could literally see what that expression meant. Her skin was stretched tightly over her bones. The doctors were confused. What had caused her death? Was it natural? Or was it unnatural? The hospital had a procedure for cases like this. If a doctor suspects that a death may not have been natural, the matter must be reported to the police. The doctors at Kollam District Hospital suspected that Thushara's death was highly unusual and possibly unnatural. So they informed the police. Meanwhile, the auto driver who had brought Thushara to the hospital was told that she could not be saved and that she had already died when she arrived. The driver was shocked. He called Thushara's parents. Her father's name was Thushara, and her mother's name was Vijayalakshmi. When they heard the news, they were devastated. "Oh no, it's been so long since we've seen our daughter. Is she really in such a condition? We have to see her." Her mother was so overwhelmed with grief that she began hitting her head and crying. Both parents rushed to the hospital. When they saw their 28-year-old daughter, they were completely stunned. They couldn't believe the condition she was in. Thushara was about 153 centimeters tall. A woman of her height would normally weigh somewhere around 40 to 50 kilograms, depending on her build. But when Thushara arrived at the hospital, she weighed only 21 kilograms. The doctors suspected that she might have been suffering from a terminal illness or that someone had done something terrible to her. They believed the case had to be investigated as a possible murder. Thushara's parents were also deeply suspicious. They asked the doctors what had happened to their daughter and whether a police complaint had been filed. They decided to file their own complaint with the Kollam police. Who was this 28-year-old woman named Thushara? What had happened in her life? How had a healthy young woman become so severely emaciated? What kind of suffering had she been subjected to? Could something like this really happen in our country? This case shocked everyone. Before we find out what happened to Thushara, please take just 2 seconds to support my channel. If you enjoyed my videos, please like the video and leave a comment. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and support the channel. Every case teaches us a life lesson. But the case we're discussing today teaches us something extremely important about how we should raise our daughters. Every parent should make a commitment to raise their daughters with courage and independence. Whether you're the parent of a daughter, a young woman, someone in a relationship, a woman who is about to get married, or someone who is recently married, I request you to watch this video until the very end without skipping. There are many important life lessons we can learn from this case. To understand what happened, we have to go back several years. Thushara was from a village called Karunagapalli in Kollam district. Her parents were Vijayalakshmi and Thushara. She also had a younger brother. It was a small, loving, middle-class family with one son and one daughter. Her parents owned a small piece of land about 5 cents where they had their home and a small shop. As Thushara grew older, she eventually reached marriageable age. Her parents began looking for a suitable groom through a marriage broker. They considered several proposals, but many of them were rejected because of excessive dowry demands. The family couldn't afford large amounts of gold jewelry or large sums of cash, so they continued waiting for the right match. Meanwhile, a 56-year-old woman named Geethalal, from a village called Kanjaveli in Kollam district, approached the family through a broker. She said, "My son's name is Chundulal. I'm looking for a bride for him. I saw your daughter's photograph and really liked her. Would you be interested in discussing the proposal?" The families agreed to meet. Geethalal came with her son, her husband, and other family members to see Thushara. Everyone gathered to meet the bride. The moment Chundulal saw Thushara, he liked her very much. Geethalal also liked her. Thushara's parents then asked the question that most families ask during marriage negotiations. "Do you have any expectations? Are you asking for dowry?" Geethalal immediately became upset. "What are you talking about? We don't want any dowry. I like your daughter. Send her to our home. I'll take care of her like my own daughter. We don't believe in taking dowry. We only want your daughter." Thushara's parents were extremely happy. They never expected to find such a good match without dowry demands. The families agreed to the marriage and held an engagement ceremony. The couple began talking to each other, and everything seemed to be going well. But after the engagement, Geethalal's family approached Thushara's parents again. "We need to discuss something important," they said. "What is it?" the parents asked. "It's about the future of the young couple. We need to settle a few things." Then came the demand. "Give your daughter 20 sovereigns of gold jewelry and 2 Indian rupees lakh in cash for our son's business." Thushara's parents were shocked. "What are you saying? Before the engagement, you told us you didn't want any jewelry or money. You said you only wanted our daughter. Now, after the engagement, you're asking for so much." Geethalal responded, "We're not asking because we're greedy. We're asking for their future. It's for your daughter's security. You're doing it for your own daughter, aren't you?" Thushara's parents were trapped. The engagement had already taken place. The wedding invitations had been printed. They felt that if they broke off the marriage, it would be difficult for their daughter to find another proposal. They felt pressured to accept the demands. But they didn't have the money. Geethalal then said, "We're not cruel people. We're not asking you to give everything immediately. You have 3 years." Then she added another condition. "If you cannot give us the 20 sovereigns of gold and 2 Indian rupees lakh within 3 years, then transfer your 5 cents of land, your house, and your shop to us." Thushara's father was left with no choice. He thought, "Let my daughter's life be happy. I'll somehow arrange the money within 3 years." But Geethalal wanted a written agreement. "Let's put it on a bond paper. If you don't give us the gold and money within 3 years, your property will be transferred to us." The family was stunned, but the wedding had already been arranged, so they signed the agreement. Finally, in December 2013, Thushara and Chundulal were married in a grand ceremony. After the wedding, Thushara went to live with her husband and his family in Kanjaveli. For the first 3 months, everything appeared to be normal. Like most newly married couples, they went through a honeymoon period. Relatives visited them, and both families spent time together. Everything seemed fine. Then something unexpected happened. Thushara's cousin, a young woman named Reshma, visited her. She thought, "My cousin is married and living nearby. I'll go visit her." Reshma spent several hours with Thushara, talking and enjoying her company. After Reshma left, Chundulal became furious. "Why did you invite your relatives into this house without asking me?" She became nervous and silent. Chundulal immediately suspected that his wife had told her parents about what was happening. "Who asked you to come here?" he demanded. Her parents explained, "Our daughter is pregnant again. We just brought her some of her favorite foods. We don't need anything from you. I'll buy things for my wife. You people leave." He took the food they had lovingly brought for their daughter and drove them out of the house. Even then, Thushara's parents wanted to help with the second delivery. They called Chundulal, but he gave them the same answer. "I already told you. I don't need anything from you. Don't keep calling. I'll take care of my wife and the delivery myself." The second child was also a baby girl. But this time, Thushara's parents weren't even informed about the birth. By now, Chundulal and his mother had complete control over Thushara. They had taken away her phone. She was allegedly deprived of food and water, verbally abused, and subjected to severe cruelty. Although no one could know exactly what happened during her final moments, the circumstances surrounding her death were extremely suspicious. The motive was also clear. Her husband's family had repeatedly demanded dowry. There was written evidence of the agreement demanding gold and money. The agreement itself became an important piece of evidence. The testimony from the preschool teacher was also significant. The statements from the neighbors and the witness who saw Thushara through the opening in the wall added further evidence. Based on the circumstantial evidence and the motive, the police concluded that Chundulal and Geethalal had subjected Thushara to severe cruelty and abuse. Geethalal's husband was also initially arrested during the investigation, but he later died. Chundulal's sister was reportedly not arrested. The police eventually filed a charge sheet against the accused. The case went before the Sessions Court. I'm here for you. When a husband provides that kind of emotional security, a woman can adapt much more easily to her new life. But if the husband doesn't support her and the mother-in-law constantly mistreats her, the woman's life can become unbearable. That's why a husband has an important responsibility when he brings his wife into his family. He must respect her. He must protect her. He must make her feel safe. This doesn't mean he has to abandon his mother. Not at all. But his mother also needs to understand that her son is now building his own family. A mother should give her adult son space to grow. She should allow him to make decisions. She should allow him to take responsibility. If a mother continues controlling every aspect of her son's life, even after marriage, he may never learn how to become an independent husband and father. This is why parenting doesn't end when a child becomes an adult. The way we raise our children can affect their future relationships. In a healthy family, everyone has a role. The husband must be supportive. The wife must be respected. The mother-in-law should allow the couple to build their own relationship. The parents of the woman should support their daughter when she needs help. Only when everyone plays their part can a family truly be happy. So the biggest lesson from Thushara's case is this. Women must be brave. Speak up when someone is abusing you. Don't suffer in silence. Get educated. Learn skills. Get a job if possible. Become financially independent. Stand on your own feet. And men must understand their responsibilities as husbands. Mothers-in-law also need to understand their role. Give your adult sons the freedom to live their own lives. Don't become insecure. Your son will not stop loving you just because he gets married. You've raised him. You've loved him. Okay, thank you, bye.